Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to be out here in nature, greeting you and always bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to speak to you today concerning the secret of God. And as we know, Neville would have spoken about the secret of God, and Neville would have learned his philosophy from the Ethiopian rabbi Abdullah, who I refer to as the black mystic from Ethiopia. And he taught him the secret of God. Now, there are many people who would say God, especially religious people. And then when you ask them who is God, some would say the Almighty, some would say the Creator, some would say the one who created me and you, and so on. But they're not actually telling you exactly who is God. But when you say to them that God is your imagination, many of them do not believe that God is their imagination. And so they are missing the secret of God, which is the secret of imagining. Because if you're claiming that God is the creator, then there must be a creative power to prove that God is the creator. And the only creative power there is the power of imagining. There's no other power that you can use to create. Everything in this world, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined, it was first mental, it was first psychological. It all begins with the mind. It means that the entire universe is mental. Therefore, if you are missing the fact of the law of mentalism, it means that you're living in ignorance. And when you're living in ignorance, you will never know what it means to say God, or to know God, or to trust God. But you would hear everyone around you saying, in God we trust. You would hear everyone saying, God bless you. But my brother and my sisters, it's only until you accept that God is your imagination. And the greatest discovery is discovering that God in man is your imagination. Because the eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. There's no other God. God is not a man in the sky. God is the creative power in you. For it is said in the Bible in Acts 17 that God do not dwell in temples made of hands. Also in Luke 17:21 you're told, let no man say to you, lo here or lo there. Do not let anyone point you to look outside of yourself. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you. You have to look within yourself to understand the secret of God, the secret of creation. Then Matthew 6:33 tells you of the secret of God. He said, if you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, he said, you will find the secret of creation, and all these things will be added unto you. It means that you will be able to create your reality consciously, because you would realize that it is your thought forms that are creating your reality, creating your personality. So my brother and my sisters, that is why Abdullah taught Neville Goddard that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, and that it have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. From the beginning to the ending, it's all a great psychological drama. It all have to do with the human psyche. So the greatest discovery is the discovery of your God self, your Christ self, your Christ consciousness, discovering the Creator in you. Therefore, you should boast to be living in heaven, because you realize that heaven is your state of mind, where you are dwelling psychologically. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And what you concentrate upon and focus your energy, that is what will become your reality. We look around and we see every tree, and we see every species. They always bring back after their own kind. We see whatever we sow in the earth gonna bring back after its own kind. We see whatever is sown in the womb of a woman is going to bring back after its own kind also. Therefore, whatever is sown in the mind is going to bring back after its own kind also. It's a law. No one can change that law. So the secret of God is the secret of your true salvation, which is your self-realization. It's coming to discover yourself, coming to discover your higher self. And that is why I never spoke about the secret of God as the secret of imagining. Understanding how your imagination really works. And be in communion with your imagination. Understand inner talking. And understand how important it is for you to practice meditation and visualization. For you to do affirmations and these things. Because you're more now in touch with yourself, your true self, your higher self, your true essence. So my brothers and my sisters, the secret of God is knowing that when they sing the song that says, and he walks with me and he talks with me, that it is your own self that is speaking about. Because many are singing this song that he walks with me and he talks with me, yet they believe that he's coming back because he's gone somewhere. But my brothers and my sisters, the power that is in me, that is speaking to you right now, that power of speech and mind, no one else possesses that. We are the highest intelligence that are here right now. We have dominion power over the animals, over the elements. We are the one who create our circumstances. That's why we should not be the creatures of circumstances. Because circumstances are the creatures of man. You create them. That's why, my brothers and my sisters, as Abdullah would have encouraged Neville to tap into his creative self, so too I'm encouraging you to get into your creative self, with your God self. Use your consciousness or your awareness of being to create your reality consciously. Because remember, your life can only be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you can shift states. Because in my Father's house, there are many mansions, many dimensions, many states of consciousness, and you can shift into whatever state of consciousness you want to shift into. Because we are just a mass of energy, and everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. And energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be transmuted. So everything is actually transmutation of energy. That is why when we know that God is that creative power within us, the power of wisdom, that light within, the life, the way, the truth, all of that is within, and all things exist in our imagination. Realize everything in this world, it was first imagined. And we know that no one can disapprove of that. Even the very Bible that many people read and believe that men wrote as they were inspired. Everything that you see that has been expressed on this earth is the expression of inspiration. Everyone was inspired for their innovation. All the inventors, they were inspired. So my brothers and my sisters, remember also that the Bible has to first be mental, psychological. And that is why it must be interpreted psychologically. So the secret of God is the secret of knowing that your true identity is your divinity. That is why I'm pointing you to look inwardly, as Abdullah would have taught Neville Goddard to look inwardly and to interpret the Bible psychologically or esoterically, metaphysically, whichever way you want to receive this knowledge. But all I'm saying to you is to believe in yourself and to trust the God that is within you. Because that is what Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. And I would like to say, if this is the very first time that you listen to me and what I'm saying to you is really resonating with you and helping you in any way, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. But just before I leave, I want to remind you that this message I bring to you as usual, that it is the single eye, yes, it is the single eye message of self-realization, which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And when you discover that light in you, you definitely discover God in you. Because that's the time when you will change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye, and realize that the twinkling of an eye is the opening of an eye, where you will awake from the dream of life and realize that this life is all but a dream. And then you would experience also the great and mighty shaking, that great earthquake, and you would hear that great and mighty rushing wind. And you will ascend like a fiery being, and you will understand why it is said, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so shall the Son of Man be lifted up, because you are the one who would be lifted up. And you would exit your skull and come out in another form and become invisible, and understand that your body is the tomb in which God is buried. This great phenomena you will come to understand also is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. For it is actually the dawning of a new day in your life. And truly you will realize that the sun parallels the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination there is anything made that was made. And you're told in the Sun book, which is the Bible, in Psalms 84:11, that the Lord thy God is a sun, a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And common sense will teach every one of us that the sun, as in the S-U-N, has never withhold any good thing from humanity, for the sun is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. Then, in the Sun book again, in Malachi chapter 4 verses 2, you've been reminded that the sun, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness. So you see, righteousness is of the sun. Righteousness is of discovering the sun, or the light that is in you, that you would know that God is light and God is within you. You say the sun of righteousness shall arise in you, not outside of you. In you shall arise. With what? Healing in his wing. That is why when this experience takes place in you, you must be healed, and you would heal others in return by your words of wisdom that you would share with them. That is why my encouragement has always been and would always be to you is to use your mind power, which is the highest power. Use your mind power, which is actually your God power, your sun power, your solar power, which is the creative power. And also that power is the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire and prove for yourself that the secret of God is the secret of imagining. Therefore, my brothers and my sisters, this is the greatest discovery that you can discover in your life, and know that you definitely can create your reality consciously. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.